It's game time. I'm your coach, John Wales.
And I'm your referee, Ezell Jones III.
And this is Top Gun Hot Shot, our annual safety compliance training.
Our players are 1,500 hourly and salary employees at our Indianapolis location. Hot Shot challenges our employees to a game of basketball to help overcome our challenges that include
providing an annual class sharing mandatory safety topic required to keep our employees safe. Our class runs in our large auditorium that seats 130 people. Our workforce ranges from new hires to 45-year seniority employees. So how do we keep such a large and diverse crowd engaged, our employees safe, and the company compliant?
And not just check the box.
With so many people in the class, it's really easy to lose their attention to their cell phones, laptops, chatter, and even bailing from the class. We had to create a dynamic and immersive way to keep their attention so they could learn and retain vital information that could keep them from being injured. It was a lot to overcome, and we did. Here's how we did it. We made the 4-hour class into a basketball tournament. With 8 students per each round table, we created 16 teams divided into 2 conferences of 8, made up of 2 divisions of 4.
The training material was divided into 4 quarters of learning. Upon the completion of each quarter, the teams were given a 3-minute clock to answer, as a team, a quiz of 8 questions. The tables are covered in disposable tablecloths, and teams were encouraged to take notes on them.
The teams would earn shooting opportunities for each correct question. Then after game instructions, the team would go to our 4 basketball courts and line up. The teams would then take their shots with a 10-second shot clock for each shot earned. Teams would then tally their scores. After the second quarter of learning and shooting, the teams would total their scores and each division would crown a champion.
After the third quarter of learning and shooting, the 2 divisions from each conference would then crown a conference champion. However, to keep all teams engaged, if the losing teams got their questions correct, they would then send a team member to shoot along with the division champion team. After the 4th quarter of learning, the quizzes got more difficult, and all teams had a chance to join the conference champions if they also correctly answered the quiz. The 2 conference champions would then face off a final time taking shots. The victors won championship rings and are invited back to a celebration luncheon at our annual Safety Awards banquet.
We struggle each year to get all employees to attend the mandatory training. The new class increased our attendance from 74% to 99%. The remaining 1% were out on sick leave. The quizzes act as assessments of knowledge, and the scores improved towards the end of the game, even though they were more difficult. Note-taking on the tables were substantial, which activates more brain activity that helps with retention. We received excellent feedback from students saying they were more engaged in the class this year than in previous years.
Absolutely loved it. It's the best one I've been to so far. They brought in some extra games with the basketball. Fantastic teamwork all around the building, but just was really a fantastic time. Really enjoyed it.
And best of all, with this training, we hit a record for days between injuries with 260 days without a reportable injury. That was nearly 5 million exposure hours. It was a slam dunk.
Gamification keeps employees engaged and immersed in the learning. They transition from having to learn to wanting to learn through simple competition with the classroom reward of a ring pop. Safety training is not about what you share. It's what about behaviors change as a result of the training. Compliance doesn't alter behaviors, thus compliance training doesn't change outcomes. As a result of our new method of training, we saw a remarkable drop in the injury rates with no other changes made in our processes. Top Gun Hot Shot became a regular topic of discussion on the shop floor, so the lessons continued on the job and weren't left at the classroom doors.